see where we're here, we made KLOVER. Where's the sign? There you go. So, time to go in and have a look. I'm ridiculously excited, which is a bit, yeah, typical. So, they're loading and they're loading lots of stoves. They must be pellet stoves going by the height of the boxes. Show trailers. Pallets going out. So, nice day out. I'm in Italy at the KLOVER factory to look at pellet stoves and boilers, and that is lots of stuff in here. So we've been going down the way of biomass recently for heating wet systems and dry systems. And there are going to be tons of stuff to look at. We're up here for coffee, apparently. They've got lots of units up here too. Loads and loads and loads of them.
You can see the first home of us here.
So this is Mario's dad, right? Who was the founder of KLOVER. Yeah. And that was your original, this was your original first cooking boiler unit. And that was back in what year?
This one was 1985.
It's been on the go for a long year. And that was also a heating unit that did the wet systems. So yeah. So this is the historical department.
40 years ago.
It's an amazing place, absolutely amazing place. You've got beautiful showrooms, absolutely stunning.
Look at this angle. So nice.
Yeah.
Later I will make you some pictures.
We're going to have a look in the factory first. It's a lovely sunny day, but it's not like it's to get to 30 degrees today, but it's not like that horrid 30 degrees we've been getting in Norfolk. It's just, it's lovely. It's not like a sauna like we've been having at home. In the factory, but I can't quite get in there fast enough. So as the factory has grown, this is the older part of the factory and production. We're going to just now. So they've got the whole site down here. And as we're getting down to the original production site part at the minute, and this has been going since like the 1970s. This company are doing 36 to 40 million pounds a year in pellet burners through worldwide now. They've been doing a lot of pellets. They're way in advance of us in Italy, and they have been for many years. And it's a market that I've not long got into, and it's not widely known in Norfolk. And has massive advantages going forward in the industry. Yeah. I love parts and tuning in it. So start to finish, they're all made in here. All different part bins laid out ready. From heating coils and worm drives and valves. They're all laid out for the actual production line. They are made here on site in Italy. And there's a whole load of parts that are still hanging down here at the minute. They've got a crane thingy moving and spraying. I'm sure so they're spraying, but this crane is lifting it up and turning it around. This will be a boiler unit. You can see all the water connections. By the looks of it, I think that the one person seems to be doing the entire job for the assembly, for retiring and spraying each unit. So their quality control will come back to knowing who has assembled what unit directly. Because they're both welding it, spraying it, and doing everything in the one bay. So that one person is responsible for that one unit. Clever. Very old school. I like that. You can smell the fresh paint ready to go in the ovens to have the paint baked on. This is a paint spray area. So I've had their full coatings. You can see them spraying it. With the kiln behind to be baked on. It's got plenty to do. Hey, what Shardip's doing is he's decontaminating the metal, so you clean it all down to make sure there's no residue on it. So when they spray the paint on it, that's why you don't get any bubbling or peeling or anything like that, because you need a completely decontaminated surface. So they're all cleaned down before they go over here onto paint, and then that's paint. They've been here a long time, and the nice thing is, that's the guy that owns Clover, and he's out here talking to every single one of these workmen on the floor. They've all got the personal interaction, and they've got a huge amount of pride in what they do. Very, very handy. This is the inside of the wood cooker, and there's stainless steel about all this internal firebox to make sure there's no corrosion. Right, okay. So
this is the bit I love,
Yeah.
because this is where you get to see the naked
Oh
stove.
yeah, it's
Before
important.
any
Oh,
cladding
this is
goes on,
important,
makes
yeah.
it look beautiful. All the workings are here, and
You can tell from that level how many pride and how much work they put in by looking at the finish and everything that they've done. And it looks to me like most of the assembly is done by one person and checked as it goes on, so that you've got the quality of what they're doing and making sure they've got the quality control, make sure it's all
stove
together.
comes out with the name of the guy that's done it.
So it's traceable
So
right back
if
to
there's
source.
ever any problem, where they come back and they can find and go, hold on, you made that little error there. We'll make sure it never
But
happens
it's not
again.
even that. From having spoken to the people in here already, they take such an amount of pride in what they do. They'd be absolutely devastated if something's coming back to them, because the level of pride they're putting into what they're doing.
It's huge.
It's
huge.
extraordinary.
Because they're part of a family.
They
They're
are.
part of the Clover
And
family,
they've been
and
here
they're
for
proud
ages.
to be part of that
And
family.
it's not like most people. And to actually see Mario on site with these people, dealing with them on a one-to-one basis in a company this size is exceptional. It really is, because
Family companies. It's a difference.
Yeah. It's back to that one person on that job who says, yeah, the buck stops with me and I'm going to sort it, which is very much how I deal with and how these guys deal with, and that's what we want. You want to know you've got that level of service and backup.
But for me, no problems, because I will have the water boils in the stove, an overflow pipe that discharge 1 liter maximum of water, but without pressure. So without pressure, you don't have problems. You don't have the possibility to have something dangerous in your house. And this is the system that gave us the possibility to start the company in this way.
And it takes the place of all of both those don't have to be done.
Yeah,
It
you
makes
do-
the
you don't
plumbing
need the
and
heat.
installation much simpler.
Right, so you don't need the heat sink and you don't need a thermal store.
No, you don't
thermal-
need a load valve. You don't
Right, yeah,
need-
yeah.
Because normally you need a load valve because you don't want it sending cold water around the system.
Yeah.
But this is that's already heated up, so it's sending. That's
So
not
without
receiving
any
cold
heat sink, when you've got an electricity failure,
If you have an electricity failure,
Yeah.
you don't have problem, because you will have probably the water of the stove boiling,
yeah,
but the water of the stove boiling is not dangerous because it's not in
because
pressure.
it goes into here, because this is like an expansion tank, so it
the,
goes up,
the level of
because
the
your
water
float goes up and down.
will rise,
yeah.
and through this overflow pipe you discharge
Yeah.
the
So it's much like having a header tank in your loft for an open expansion vessel.
Well, yeah, but it's much cleverer than that, because a pressurized system
Uh-huh.
works better. But
Yeah.
the danger of a pressurized system is if the pressure gets
Yes,
too
of course,
high,
because then it blows
boils.
off like a whale and the
So
water
this
doesn't
is a
re-top
way-
up into the system.
Yeah, this is a way to have a complete pressurized system. The only bit that isn't pressurized
Is the
itself.
stove
And
itself.
that's what makes it
Yeah.
so clever.
So
and
when it
so
comes out
simple.
here and it overheats or whatever, if it was to, like there's
If
a
it, was
power
to over,
failure,
if it was to boil, it would
Yeah.
only boil in this tank.
And it would come down
over
through
there,
heat, yeah.
And it would replenish it with cold
yeah.
water there.
So it's like an open vented and a pressurized system
System
combined, but
yeah.
this is the open
Yeah.
vented part of the system. This is
Is
the
this the
small
central
one,
heating?
that'll be the
This
small one will be
is
the hot
central
water.
heating, the
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
one.
And the small one's a hot water tank.
This is for domestic hot
Yeah,
water.
the domestic hot water, and that one's the central heating one. So it's two separate coils.
Yeah, two separate coils. Yeah.
How many litres does this hold, Mario? How many litres of water does that boiler hold?
Domestic hot water.
Well, it's one lot of water that heats both coils, yeah? You've got the water that goes on the outside, and then you've got the water that goes through each coil.
Yeah.
So how many litres does the tank hold?
Allora, the
actual
boiler,
unit in the boiler.
The boiler is more or less 55 liters.
Yeah.
Okay. And for domestic hot water,
Yeah.
I'm able to produce
Yeah.
water from 12. It depends on the fire that
Yeah, of
you
course.
have. But from 10 to 15 liters per minute.
10 to 15 litres per minute of hot water.
With a 35 increase of temperature.
Right, okay.
Because it depends on the temperature that you have when the water
Oh yeah, of
arrives.
course. Just tell us, to be a bit to get my head around there, is that the heating system to the hot water can do up to 20 kilowatts, and they're getting about 15 kilowatts per 15 litres of hot water per minute. So the water in the cold end's coming in about 20 degrees, and it's going out about 55 degrees out the other side.
And also in a small pellet, dry pellet stove.
So this is the inside of one of the utility boilers. Yeah. So you can see the full size of the hopper system, which is the same as the ones that I've just brought in. And the mechanism at the bottom, down here, that will be feeding the coils here that you see going up and down, because this is obviously on test, for pulling the wet systems up and down. And then this is the hopper for where you put your pellets in on the top. So what they've just been showing us, this part is the bit that goes inside the crucible hot that ignites the pellets. So you'll see that that's heating up now. So this, when you press the button or you give it the control off the Wi-Fi, is what sets your pellets on fire. So as it heats up, it ignites the pellets and then switches itself back on. This is titanium, wasn't it? So it's very hard and very resilient and very difficult to break, so they last a long, long time. And that's how the pellets ignite in the crucible when you switch it on. Video that. So we've got heat storage coils and thermal storage bricks.
I want to show you, please come, that we install in the fireplace. But the evolution means that the tank is completely in stainless steel, only stainless steel, and the water is here and in the pipes that we have under the tank. And these are the two big exchangers that we have inside. The bigger one for domestic hot water, for central heating, and the other one for domestic hot water. So is a huge tank with huge coils, but believe me that the result is very, very good. You have the product working in the showroom upstairs. The fireplace that was in the corner with the chair. So this is for life because it's stainless steel, passivated. Is a special treatment that we do to avoid the corrosion after welding the stainless steel. You can see that the weld part is completely clear and not darker, because when you weld, you heat the material, and if you don't do the passivation of the metal, you will have the possibility of corrosion where you have the weld. In this way, you don't have corrosion. So big tank with big exchanger to have high efficiency and the possibility to heat up to 200-250 square meters.
That's a fair-sized house. The possibility with some of these units is, in a modern, medium-sized house, you can run everything, not just the stove, you can run the entire heating system off of one unit. And it will put most of the heat to the wet system efficiently, cleanly, without the tar and deposit, because it does it its own rate, so it knows the gases stay ridiculously clean. And these are 90% efficient. There's no smoke comes out the chimney at all. It's completely clear. This is like final assembly lines. And I think these ones are the combined systems, wood burner and pellet.
So guys, this is one of the best sellers that we have since I can say 2008, 2010. This is the dual, that is a double chamber of combustion for central heating, pellet and wood. With the Securo top system, because we have the wood side, all the hydraulic components are already installed, so very easy to install in your house. The characteristic of the product is that you can use the stove only with wood, only with pellet. You can have both of them working together. If you need more power to heat your house very fast, you can have both of them working. Obviously, when I'm arriving to the temperature that I have set in my house, the pellet starts going down automatically till stop. The wood keep burning if automatically. So your house will have the right temperature, even if I'm not using wood. So it's a product that gives you the possibility to use wood, pellet, and both of them together.
The expensive bit of heating your house is getting it to temperature.
Yeah.
Once it's there, the cheap bit is keeping it there. So if one load of wood gets your house from cold to warm, that can automatically take over and just keep it warm. And that way. And I have seen over the years, I have seen so many different designs of dual pellet and wood. I've seen ones, because they demand completely different fireboxes.
Yeah.
So it's a really, I've seen ones where they have something that comes down and scrapes them before it moves onto the pellet. And every one, the pellet's fed up from below. All of them have a built-in flaw. That they will work for a while, they'll work, but they end up clogging, they end up not being reliable. And the only one I've ever seen that works is when you separate the two fireboxes. Common boiler, common chimney.
Only one chimney.
One chimney, one boiler, but two separate fireboxes.
That makes complete sense because of the amount of ash you get on one from the amount of ash you get on the other. So the fact that you can either preheat just on wood or run with just the pellet and thermostatically control that, or switch it off before you go home and then swap to the other, or the other way about. And the good thing with these is, with the actual depth of the firebox, you can get what, a 16-inch log in there?
Yeah.
About a 16-inch log. Whereas for people that are maybe in a farming community, for what they want to burn, they don't want to burn a 10-inch split. They want to burn a bigger they want to burn a bigger log.
Yeah.
And the pellets,
you can get that roaring. And
yeah,
when you've got them both going,
I'm sure. 32. But wait a minute. So what?
16 each.
Say 16 kilowatt each. What is the heat output to the dry versus the heat output to the wet?
4 or 5 kilowatts.
4 or 5 kilowatts per side. So
no, in total.
In total, yeah. So 4 or 5 kilowatts per side. So if the two were running together, we're getting 8 kilowatts to the dry, and then we're getting what to the wet? The balance of 32.
Okay, so 32 kilowatt in total.
Yeah, so you take
to air?
8,
You have
4
total
to 8.
32 kilowatts, so
Yeah.
you have 4 kilowatts
20,
to
20,
the air,
24 to the wet
4
side.
kilowatts to the air, and
24, 28 to the wet.
to the water.
Yeah,
14
so
It's a big house.
it is a big house. So 28 to the wet and
Maximum-
48.
maximum power. If
At
you
ma-
use
of
the
course.
power, it's up to you.
Yeah, you don't need a fraction of that, and it will butt itself down.
Normally, you have to think
Yeah.
that you can use only one side, and so only one side means 16 kilowatts in total. So 2 to the air and 14.
Yeah,
to
but
the
what
water.
you would do is you could preheat it to preheat the whole system. Once you've got your bath of cold water heated up to the right temperature, it's very easy to maintain it with kettle. But you wouldn't heat. You wouldn't be trying to. Yeah. Got lost. But
No, but it basically that.
Yeah.
If you want to save money and do cheap
Yeah.
heating, that would heat your house.
once
that
you heat
pellet
it,
just keeps it there.
keeps it going because it's thermostatically controlled, so it will feed the pellets in a tiny amount as it needs to keep the room temperature even, so you don't end up screaming hot room trying to get the wet system to temperature.
And also the other great advantage is, of course, at 6 o'clock in the morning, that
It'll come
pellet
on before
side
you get
will light
And you
itself.
don't have to worry about when you put another load of wood in if you're not there, because it'll just get on with it. And then when you want to load one, it'll take over from you. It'll self-ignite through the titanium rod that goes into the crucible.
Very simple, once per year.
7-inch flue outlet, 180 mil. Flue outlet, 180.
180.
Yeah. Is it top and rear or is it top flue only?
Top fluid.
Top flue only on these.
You can see the two sides. So
Yeah.
There's your wood side, and you can damp it down if you want.
Yeah, well,
and
you
there's
don't
your
need it
pellet
on
side.
you don't need it on the pellet side. Now I see that the flue is actually split for the two. That's really
Yeah. Oh,
uncommon.
you must split the fluid
Yeah.
until they come up to here.
Until they come to temperature, because the temperature of the gases is entirely different.
That's a really cool. It's flue.
It is.
You're putting, and that's much hotter. The wood side.
But with this, that's still an outside. That's an outside flue collar compared to the inside. Did they do an adapter for the UK market where you put that in the inside?
Yeah, we all have adapters.
Yeah,
We all have
okay.
adapters, continental adapters that
Yeah.
adapt that so that flue can go on the inside.
Yeah.
More airflow around it.
Yeah, I'd say 200 mil combustionals on the side for brushing up to that point is probably alright.
Yeah.
And brush that, and then you do flue sweep on top
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
So that little hole that looks like an exhaust pipe down the bottom pretty much just about is, but that's your direct air intake. And that's only about 2-inch internal diameter, 2.5-inch external diameter. Straight through the wall on the outside for your air ducting. And I think what they were saying is you need to leave about 8-inch gap behind this, both for the water pipe connections. That's like 8 inches, 200 mil off the wall on the back just to get the pipe work, etc. But with a big unit like that, that's not far. It really isn't at all. These are little insert pellet.
Now, right. It's come right
So what
out.
they're
You can
just showing
access
us
every
is
part.
this is how you access the cleaning mechanism on a pellet stove. So to clean it, the whole thing just pushes forward and out.
Yep.
This one, as you can see, we have this system. Look at how it's made.
Rubber gaskets here.
It's a conical. Double.
Double gasket.
It's automatic centering because it's like it's a cone.
Yeah.
It is a fork in English, cone.
Cone, yeah.
And if that doesn't make a perfect seal,
Yeah.
you can't start it.
No, because it won't let you because it knows. Yeah.
It won't start unless that seal is perfect.
Really completely sealed gas tank.
On the rubber.
And your pellet drawer for the inside of an insert. You pull this forward at the front and you pour the pellets in and then it pushes back into the wall and feeds itself and you've got a flush fit round it. I'm going to get left behind as usual because I'm on the run. There's lots to see and it smells very fresh and new and painted. It's pretty, isn't it? So the vineyards either side. There's in the van. Oh, look, lots of ducks. They're all white ducks where we are. When they produce your crescent moon duck. It's typical for Norfolk. Beautiful maple tree. So you were saying that this does 4 different methods of heat. So from your pellets, you can heat. Oops, sorry, John. So from your pellets, you can heat your rings on the top, but that is, it looks like it is a glass top, but that's for heating via pellets to the room. Plus the oven and the wet system. Was there air ducting? No, this is for me, so I remember. This is air ducting as well, was it? There's water, there's the oven, there's the pellets, there's the hob. Yeah. And it's flowing out horizontally through the wall with your cooker hood, which is pretty flipping amazing, to be honest. So you're smart. This isn't just, what's that called?
Altea.
That's the Altea that you were talking about. Okay, so gotcha. So they're the water units. So this is the Smart 120, which is the bigger version like what Jim got. So what Jim's got is just the pellet plus the wet. I know, but he's not got the stone clad one.
No, but that's the...
It's that size. So on this one, you've got a cooking plate on the top, and you've got the water boiler on the side, and that does what, about 20 kilowatts to the outside of the system. It's like 21 metre
19
radiators.
kilowatts to water,
Yeah,
3.5
so
to
19, 20, 21 kilowatt radiators, or a 3 kilowatt hot water tank, and 17 1 metre radiators worth. And heat to the room, and it was
3.5 to room. So
3.5 to room.
19.1 to water.
right. Okay.
I would like to show you how this small stove is made.
Oh yeah. Stuart, that does the aircon.
You have all the electronics in one side, the other side is for here. You can clean the small passage from the front. You can remove the bricks and you have the openings in the stove. 6 kilo.
We've told everyone to do that, but no one's done it.
But your difference is a 6 kilowatt. It's not 6 kilowatt at maximum. It can run continuously at 6 kilowatt if you wanted it to.
Is 6.5 burned kilowatt?
Yeah, you can.
You just adjust it.
Yeah, of course you can. But it's a lot more stable than what you'd ever get with a wood burner. Never mind the cleanliness and the gases. And you wouldn't have to load it for like what? It's about 8 hours burn on one of them. Is it about 8 hours on one of them?
An hour, and it's a 10 kilo hopper.
20 hours. So 20 hours. Yeah, 20 hours. Load it from the top, and not have to load it for 20 hours. And a £5.50 bag of pellets is going to last you 20 hours of constant burning to give you up to 6 kilowatt of heat with one load from the top, and you only occasionally have to open the door to clean it out. So in general, you could go a couple of days or more without ever having to open the door. The amount of ash that would make from a whole bag of pellets is no more than a teacup.
Is it just natural, the food, like a normal wood burner?
Yeah,
No fan?
No,
yeah?
no.
No fan? Yeah.
No fan. It's direct.
Yes.
Just pass through like this.
So the fan's an optional extra. Yeah. The
That's
fan's
cool.
clever.
That is very cool, yeah.
So when you're fitting that in an opening, how much extra clearance round the box do you need?
None.
In the unit?
Because
So
it
but you're
fits
fitting
in
that
this
to a
square
wall?
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you fit that like a reptile,
Yeah.
they'll fit in there.
So when you
You're not
go...
going to have a slant at the back, are you, when you do... It's
No,
gonna be
I mean some of them are flat, some of these have got the angles on. The angle's not what I meant. The angle's not what I meant. You're going to have to get that out more for servicing. Is it on a runner that it slides out like the other ones?
To make service, you can pull out, which is the cassette, the box.
From the front?
And the case remains fixed. This is a fixed part, and you have another body inside.
Yeah,
that is
yeah, so
moving.
an outer
Pull that
cassette.
out
Yeah,
and then
I
you
get
get to the
that.
motors.
So with where the... Oh, you get to the motors through the inside?
You got to hit the inside and then you get
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You undo those from the inside.
Yes, just like with the flue to drop the flue down on the inside.
Yeah, try that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah.
And that's quite a shallow body, so that one will,
With this system, you can hit
that
a
one will,
big room. If you charge wood here with this ventilation, I think 60 square meters of room in 1 hour. It's
the fans on those are pretty spectacular. But the thing is, these would fit in a UK depth fireplace opening. The other one won't, because that's plenty deep enough. Because 6,
I
12,
can measure,
that's
but,
350 mil.
I think it's around 35. I regulate the legs.
So you can change the height.
Yeah, change the height. You have many holes to regulate.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you do a jacket up base. And that would obviously double up as a framework for a log store for underneath.
Chimney like this.
Yeah, so we got.
Yeah. So, she did set fires on these ones that are some kind of ceramic lined with the woven stainless steels. And an easy, dead easy in and out air control. But also available with a fan. So the fan is the heat coming out the front, and there's all different air settings, and when that's turned up, my god, it chucks the heat out the front. So with that framework that's in the inside, you can also build it into a log store. You turn the fan up on that, and the heat that comes out the front of that is incredible. You have it with the additional fan mechanism, the heat that comes out when you crank that up, good grief, it throws the heat out. So this is wood burning.
We switch off everything.
Fluent, eh? Fluent.
I've been in there a bit.
The soft technology noise with the ventilation.
But
Hang on a minute.
Once again.
But you nod.
Ready, guys?
Ready? Go! Jamie.
Once again. Normal stove. Soft. We have many models like this. This is the soft technology. Again. Normal stove. One, two. Three. You can let the stove like this many hours without problem.
And could you run both sides?
Now we switch it off.
Yeah, but if you
There's always one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
You have to
Is that your remote control or is that Mert?
thank you.
Very impressive.
not to mention feeding us rather lovely wine.
I've got wine. You know what happened the last time I had wine? This stuff is lovely. I could actually really drink this. They might have to carry me. Jamie's in for a hard time, and John, because last time I had half a pint gin and I only had it because I like the idea of the raspberry, and it was all lemonade and one measure of gin. I didn't even get half the way through it, and I couldn't walk back to the car.